And we're back with another career clip. Hi, my name is Jörg, which is German for George, here at Find a Job in Germany. And with me today is my partner.
Tammo.
Thank you for your introduction, Tammo. We're going to be talking today about some recent changes and news that have to do with German immigration law. And if you remember, we had already published a video on that a couple of weeks and months ago, which was quite popular and created some attention, to say the least. And we wanted to take the opportunity to deep dive a little further into what actually is changing. And be rest assured, this is not going to be the last video of this, because the immigration reform here in Germany covers several things, and each of these aspects may be even one video by itself. That's what we were thinking. This is why we're now doing this. So that's the first one, and today we're going to be talking about which aspect particularly, Tammo?
Yes, I think it is worth mentioning to talk about what influence that new Skilled Immigration Act has on IT specialists, obviously, because we are working with guys from tech and IT, and it is interesting now because you know that law was passed, I think, in June. We talked about it in June, and now already from November onwards,
It's really taking effect.
yeah, the first things are taking effect. But before we talk about how those things are taking effect and making obviously the visa process easier for international tech and IT people who want to move to Germany, let's quickly talk about, first of all, why did Germany pass this new Skilled Immigration Act? I mean, it's quite straightforward.
Exactly, and I already mentioned this in other videos, but here really there is a lot of talk about this, and that is a severe shortage of skilled people. Whether or not that is in tech and IT or in other industry-related fields and other professions, there is simply the situation that we're an aging population. And a lot of the people that were born in the 50s and 60s and 70s are going to be slowly but surely retiring. And the government knows that there's not enough young kids following. And there are statistics that says for tech and IT alone, this year there has been 120,000 unfilled positions. That's also why we're running our program at Find a Job in Germany, of course. And there is a prognosis which says that until 2030, we're going to need, and this doesn't just cover tech and IT, but all other fields, we're going to need 400,000 skilled professionals to immigrate to Germany each year. And this is why, even if you're not in tech and IT and not a fit for our program, this may be of interest to you. This trend will keep on going. It's just going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, we need 400,000 people each year, not until 2030, even longer. But there was another prognosis by the Boston Consulting Group that by 2030 we need more than 1.1 million people in tech and IT alone. I mean, those numbers are huge, and this is why now slowly also the German politicians are waking up and actually making it easier for people to immigrate to Germany. And I think that is very good. That's very good for us. And let's now talk a little bit. How does that new law makes it easier for you if you are a Java guy from India and you want to move to Germany? So first of all, the biggest implementations which are starting from November this year already are affecting the visa called Blue Card. So not everybody knows what the Blue Card is.
Exactly. Let's quickly talk about that here for a second. And maybe some of you have already paid a visit to the website of the German embassy in your home country. You're going to be able to select from different kinds of visas that you can apply for. And you're going to see there is Blaue Karte, which is EU blue card, or it's an EU law. So in other words, the blue card is a measure that all EU states have implemented for themselves, apart from the national legislation, which still applies. So there is a national work permit that you can always get if you don't fulfill criteria for a blue card. Or you can get the blue card, which again means you need to fulfill those really specific criteria. And those criteria, the obstacles, the threshold, had already been rather high. You needed an academic degree, you needed a certain minimum amount of income, and you needed a few other things, but apart from that, those were the two major requirements. And Germany is able to actually change its own laws to make adaptations to how it defines its own blue card criteria, and that's what happened. And so what exactly did they do? Because I'm saying you needed to show that, but you no longer need to do that, do you?
Yeah, exactly. So far, as you said, you needed to have a university degree in that field to get the blue card. And just to add on that, the blue card is interesting for you because if you get a blue card, the processing time for blue card was fastest so far. If you have a blue card, you can already apply for a PR in Germany already after being in the country for 2 years. You can go for, if you want, you go for the German passport, I think already after 5 years. So it's a straightforward process. So the blue card is by far the visa you should go for if you are.
It's the gold standard, like we like
Exactly.
to say. I
Yeah.
would agree.
But you needed to have a university degree, and you don't even need to have a university degree, but a university degree which is recognized by the German authorities.
Which used to cause quite a few hiccups in the past. Also something we regularly check with coachees from our program, whether or not your degree and your university are actually accredited, requires you to go through a, let me just rather say, very German and funky process, which is called ANABIN. ANABIN is an acronym. We're not going to go deeper here on what it actually means, but it's a website where you can check whether or not your degree and your university are accredited and mentioned in there, and it needs to give you a positive result. Then you're safe, but it can happen that it doesn't give you a positive result, and then people are, quite frankly, demotivated.
Exactly. And then you need to go back to the German authorities,
Do
get
an
it
accreditation.
recognized. That could take months. And let's not talk about that. But the good news for you is from November onwards, you do not need to have a university degree anymore.
At all.
At all to apply for a blue card if you have at least 3 years of relevant work experience.
How do you prove that?
Well, you get the certificates from your previous employers, and you just show that. That's enough. So it's straightforward. Like they don't need to check your university degree. That will even speed up the visa process anymore. I mean, from places like India, there were a lot of initiatives in the last months anyway. So the visa process got very fast already. But now, from November, you should get it in a couple of weeks. It should not be
Should not be an obstacle. To add on to what Tammo was just saying, it's important for you to understand that when you demonstrate those 3 years of experience, of course, they need to be related to the field that you're going into. So you can't start working as a tech and IT professional if those 3 years have been in mechanical engineering. That needs to match, of course. And you're going to also send in a one-page CV, which of course covers the employment period that you are then also demonstrating through those, for example, employment certificates from your previous employers.
Exactly. And the good news is this new Skilled Immigration Act comes into place step by step. So from March 2024, next year, it will be even easier to get the visa. You only need 2 years of relevant work experience then. From June 2024, a new opportunity card will be launched, where with this card you can move to Germany for 1 year and look for a job and even start working on that card already. We will make a separate video just about that card. We will do that in the next month so that you are ready if that comes in June 2024, that you know exactly how to apply, what you can do with that, because that's going to be a game changer for you as well if it's implemented correctly. We're going to do another video for that. And another nice implementation, we should also do a separate video on that, is that you can bring your family and even your parents way easier in the future.
And we have already received quite a few inquiries on how exactly that is going to work. And this is why we're saying there's going to be follow-up clips on this issue, because the whole reform covers so many things. We also are only able to draw from the sources that we get here in the country. And this is also to maybe finalize things here with this video today. Things are a work in progress. And also here, there's a big debate on to what extent this is going to, how this is going to affect the authorities here, how this law is going to be actually come to life. We will share more practical hands-on experience with you guys, of course. And we have, this is the good news already, had good experiences with the existing law in our personal coaching program from the people that have gotten jobs through our program in tech and IT, which is why we're really expecting things to be easier Unfortunately, we're really only able to make qualified statements about that professional area. We can only give estimates as to how it's going to relate and affect other areas. We still might want to keep following. There's going to be more clips coming up, so if you like, feel free to subscribe to our channel, of course. We'll be happy to share more news with you coming up soon. And if you're in tech and IT, then you want to watch our video training maybe, because you might be interested in finding a job in Germany. How does that work, Tammo?
Yeah, get in touch with us. Watch our video training. You find that below this video. Have a look how we work, how the process works. Then you book, get a no call through that site. We will analyze, evaluate your profile and see if you have good chances of landing a job in Germany in the next 3 months. If that is the case, we're gonna call you, and then we're gonna check your profile closer, and then move to a second call, which is a video call where we explain you everything in great detail. And then, yeah, we proceed, and then usually it takes 2 to 3 months that you get an offer. Even if you should book a call with you and we should cancel that for the moment, because, you know, we get so many inquiries at the moment, don't worry. Your major takeaway from this today video is that migrating to Germany is getting easier and easier in the next months and in the next years. You can see that this law is implementing step by step. So, yeah, follow us, have a look, follow Germany. I think from all the opportunities you have right now moving internationally, be it Australia, Canada, the US, Germany, Europe is the most approachable target at the moment.
I would totally agree with you on that. However, and this is also based on the comments that we saw, of course, following from the latest video that we had published on this issue, our job is not to lure anyone into anything. Our job is to make sure people have a realistic set of expectations when they come here to Germany. That's the most important thing. And we don't care about anything else other than expectation and its management in that regard. If you find whether or not this is a country you want to move to, is your decision. If you find that you want to go elsewhere, that is also perfectly fine. But be rest assured, the whole process of coming here is, of course, a big deal for everybody's lives. And I can say from experience, also in our personal coaching program, it's a great fun to accompany these people. It's really cool to see how these lives have been shaped. But in any case, we are there to help. If there is interest in this regard, that is what Find a Job in Germany does. Anyway, Tammo, thank you very much for this video today. There will be more. Vielen Dank also. And we'll be in touch. Talk soon. All the best. Take care.
Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao, ciao.